I think what the Pope is doing is he's trying to encourage us to think about the environment and to take the challenges of the environment seriously in the context of the world's poor, in the context of poverty, and also in the context of the dignity and creative capacity of the human person. Because a lot of times, environmental movements and poverty movements tend to look at the poor as problems to be solved. And of course, central to Francis's pontificate has been really this call to recognize the dignity of the poor. And we can't just come up with policies in New York and London and Brussels. We have to be in real contact with people in Africa, Latin America, and Asia. What is it that you want? How can we work together so that we can care for the environment, but not create a situation where the developed countries, the industrial world says, well, we've made it, now it's time to care for the environment, and you can't develop. And Pope Francis really wants us to be careful of the environment. He wants to take it seriously. I don't think he's saying that. I think it's quite clear that the Holy Father doesn't have a very positive view of markets. And I think that's one of the challenges that we have, is to actually show how really a competitive, free economy can benefit the world's poor. And I think one of the great kind of general myths around discussions of the market is that somehow poor people are dominated by markets, when in reality, really they're excluded from markets. And so if you look, for example, it's very hard for poor people to register a business. They don't have clear access to title to their land. They don't have access to justice in the courts. And so they're really locked out. And they don't have really free exchange. Well, what unfortunately happens is that when an economy is highly regulated, whether it's for environmental reasons or for other social reasons, big business, entrenched bureaucracy, and powerful interest groups begin to control the regulation. And so the poorest of the poor lack the political, the economic, and the social contacts to navigate a bureaucracy that's dominated by these big businesses and powerful interest groups. So I think part of our job really is to represent and reframe the value of a competitive market economy that really gives the poor an opportunity for inclusion.